Before I started to sell on eBay, I thought it was easy. I was completely wrong. I thought you'd just find something cheap, list it, sell it for more, and keep the profit. And honestly, that's probably how a lot of people see reselling when they're thinking about starting. But once you actually start doing it, you realise there's a lot more that goes into it. I'm currently doing my own challenge where I'm trying to turn what I've got into £1,000 through eBay. I've already made 8 sales, but I'm still nowhere near the £1,000 target. And doing this challenge has made me realise just how much I didn't know when I started. So these are 5 things I wish I knew before selling on eBay. Item really cheaply, you still need to think about whether it's actually worth your time. Because imagine spending ages taking photos, measuring, writing the reference, answering this, that, just to make a tiny amount of money. So now, when I'm looking at an item, I'm not just asking myself, how much can I sell this for? I'm asking, how much am I actually going to make from this? The difference is something I wish I understood much earlier. Number 4 is photos. This is something I definitely underestimated. When you're selling online, the person looking at your listings can't physically pick the item up. They can't feel it, they can't try it on, they can't turn it around and look at it themselves. So your photos are basically your shop window. If the first photo is dark, blurry, messy, there's a good chance someone's just going to scroll past it. And you might actually have a really good item, but if the photos don't make it look good, people might never even click on it. So I've learned to take photos that make it as easy as possible for someone to understand exactly what they're buying. I want the buyer to be able to see the front, the back, the labels, and the important details, and any flaws. And if something mark, damage, anything else wrong with it, I'd rather show it clearly. Because getting a sale is great, but getting a sale from someone who knows exactly what they're buying is much better than hiding something and ending up with a disappointed buyer. So don't treat your photos as something you have to get done. They can actually make a big difference to whether someone stops scrolling and looks at your item. Number 3 is pricing. When I first started, I could look at an item and think, yeah, that's probably worth £30. But the problem is, what I think something is worth doesn't really matter. What matters is what someone is actually willing to pay for it. So now, before I pay something, I like to look at the similar items on eBay and see what they're actually selling for. Because there's a massive difference between someone listing an item for £30 and someone actually paying £30 for it. You could see an item listed at £40 and think, I'll put my item for 40. But if you see similar items actually selling for 50, and there's something that could be really frustrating. You may think your price is reasonable, but if a buyers don't agree, it doesn't matter. So I definitely recommend checking similar sold items rather than just looking at the highest price someone has listed this for. And sometimes if something isn't selling, change the price can be worth trying instead of just leaving it there and hoping someone eventually buys it. Number 2 is something you don't really understand until you actually start doing it. Listing items takes time. If you've got one item, it's not really a big deal. You take some photos, write the title, write the description, write your price, drop the poster, and it's done. But then imagine doing that and again. Suddenly you've got dozens of items, and that's when you realise reselling isn't just buying something and putting it on eBay. There's actually a lot of work behind every single listing. And that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned from doing my own challenge. The more items you have, the more work there is behind the scenes. And even though each individual listing might not take that long, when you've got loads of items, all those little jobs start adding up. That's why I think it's important to have a system and just work through your items rather than letting a massive pile of stock build up. Because having stock is great, but having stock that isn't listed isn't really helping you reach your target. And number 1, just because you list something doesn't mean somebody is going to buy it. You could spend hours getting everything listed and then have days when absolutely none happens. And I'm actually experiencing that right now. I've actually made 8 sales during my challenge, but I've still got loads of items left, I'm still nowhere near my £1,000 target. And when you're starting out, I think it's easy to think that once something is listed, the sale is basically guaranteed, but it isn't. Sometimes the item doesn't get much attention. Sometimes the price is too high. Sometimes the photos aren't good enough. Sometimes you need to change the title. And sometimes there's absolutely nothing wrong with the listing. You just haven't found the right buyer. That's why reselling takes patience. You can't get every item to sell immediately. And think that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned from doing this challenge. It's not about finding good items, it's about getting them sold. And actually, while we're talking about the channel, I've decided to set myself another challenge. I've been doing all this without showing my face. So if we can get the channel to 1,000 subscribers, I'll finally reveal who's behind the channel. And if you see me and think, yeah, I don't like this guy, fair enough, you can unsubscribe. But seriously, if you want to see the face behind the £1,000 eBay challenge, subscribe. Because I actually love to see if we can get this channel to all the way to 1,000. And when we get there, we finally get to see who's behind all these videos. So those are the 5 things I wish I knew before I started selling eBay. I'm still learning myself, and documenting the whole process after I type up what I've got. If you want to see whether I can actually reach it, that target, subscribe or follow the channel. And remember, 1,000 subscribers, place review.